Hi Dizzlers, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to all my subscribers. Today we will be having a question and answer session, a Q&A about how cerebral palsy affects my daily life. I put out on my social media asking you guys to ask me any question that came to mind as it relates to cerebral palsy and me. So I'm about to dive into it. Alright, before I start answering the questions, guys, I think it's best to say what cerebral palsy really is. Now, cerebral palsy is brain disorder or something that affects the brain. So it occurs during birth, shortly before birth, or shortly after birth. In my case, I believe that mine occurred right after birth, and I don't think the doctors did all they could do to stop it from happening, because I don't think they knew about cerebral palsy back then in Jamaica that much. Alright, so cerebral means brain and palsy means movement of the muscles. So cerebral palsy cerebral palsy is something that affects the brain, which affects the part of the brain which affects movements and balance and disorder. So for me, I have spastic diaplegia, cerebral palsy, which affects the way I walk. My walking basically, my legs basically looks as if I walk in the form of scissors, you know. I will do a video on how I walk and my journey with walking. So let's get into this question and answer. My first question is, it says, what was it like going to school with CP? Well, in the early ages of going to school, like basic and primary, it was very rough because kids can be mean, especially when they don't understand what is happening. They will give you nicknames, they will laugh at you. So it was very rough. But as I grew older, I met some friends and I started feeling comfortable. They started accepting me for who I am, and this is just me. I walk differently, but I still learn like everyone else. I'm still a child. So yeah, it was rough, but I still went and I still learned and all of that. Question 2. What age could you tell that you were different? For me, I could tell that I was different from age 4, where, you know, that's the age where you're going to basic school and you see that they're laughing at you and stuff, and then you'll watch children play and you realize that you can't play those games because you can't run as fast as they can, and you realize that you're not walking as normal as people would say, as normal as they are. So from age 4, I could say that something was wrong with me. I am not as normal as they are, you know. Alright, question number 3 says, what is your true height? well, I know right now I am 4'7", and it depends on how straight I am standing, which I've never really truly tested that out. I know that my ID says that I'm 4'7". I think I'm about 5 something if I truly stand straight. Who knows, maybe I'll do a video on that and take you along with finding out my true height. As far as I know, yes, I am the only one in my family with CP. My mother has 3 girls. I'm the middle child, and none of my sisters have any form of disability. It's just me. So yeah. Number 6, was learning difficult? Learning, was it difficult? I wouldn't say, but staying focused was, because at one point I hated going to school. I would try and find every excuse not to go to school, but my mom, she would send me anyway because she believed learning is the key to success. So I went to school and I was being teased and bullied, so it was hard to stay focused, but I learned and I achieved what I went to school for. I completed my associate degree, and I took a short break, so I'm in the process of finishing my bachelor's degree in business management. Have you ever felt angry with God? This is a really strong question. I'm going to be honest, yes. Because when you see people around you that are walking normal, as they would put it, and you're not walking normal, you are feeling pain that you can't stop. You take medication and medication don't always help, and I have spasms, and my spasms can get quite painful. And people used to use my disability to try and limit the stuff that they think I can do, and I sometimes I get pretty angry, and I would say, Lord, why me? I mean, I'm the only one in my family with it. Nobody knows what I'm going through. Why did you have to choose me? I had a lot of questions for God, and I'm going to be honest, I still do have a lot of questions for him, but I'm learning to trust him more and more. I'm learning to love myself more and more. Now, people's limitations are not my limitations. You can tell me that you don't think I can do something, and I will prove to you that I can do it. My only problem is walking, but I can do everything else for myself. I wash, cook, and clean. I can do everything. I just need to think of a way not to let my walking hinder me, or use my walking as a mode for, use it as an ability that other persons don't have. All right. Number 8, were you bullied growing up? Yes, I was bullied a lot growing up. As I mentioned before, they would give me nicknames. They would call me Brockfoot, Benfoot. I walk and kick the ground, so my shoes were always dirty, and I would kick the front of them, so they would wear down very easily, and there would be holes in my shoes. At one point I was wearing iron shoes and iron braces on my legs, and that only gave them more nicknames for me. So I was bullied. And even now I can be walking downtown or on the road, and people will stare, children will laugh. Some adults, they laugh and they point and they stare, and it hurts more than when the children, when they do it, because you know that they don't understand and you expect better from adults. But day by day I'm learning to take it. I'm just saying that they don't understand, so that's their way of dealing with seeing someone that's different than them. Does walking hurt? Actually, yes, it does. Not always, but most times. So I am taking muscle relaxers and painkillers. I don't like taking them, and I don't take them every day. But yes, they hurt, especially when the time is cold. Sometimes my legs are tired. I live on 2 hills, so walking up the hill is a struggle for me. My muscles get tight and they're just tired, so yes, it hurts. But most times, if you don't know me, you won't know that I'm in pain, because I'll keep my smile and I'll just deal with it. You have to deal with stuff whether you want to or not. So yes, it does hurt. Number 10, At what age did your parents find out that you have cerebral palsy? Alright, I would say between 1 and 2. I was not 2 as yet when my mom found out. I mean, I was a pretty normal baby, active and stuff, but when I became 1, she realized I wasn't walking like other babies were walking. I was sitting up and everything, but I was crawling, but I wasn't walking. So at that age, she found out. She went to the doctor, and they were supposed to do my first surgery when I reached 2, but the doctor who was supposed to do my first surgery, he died, Dr. Sir John Golden, so they had to postpone that surgery until someone else could. So I would say between 1 and 2. And number 11, and I believe this is the final question, is how do you stay so positive and so strong and keep smiling? I honestly don't know how to answer that question. I can only say my strength comes from God, even though I have my times when I don't want to be strong. I want this to be over with. I want to be normal, but when I sit and I talk to him, and he just gives me this peace and this strength. He's saying, listen, you have been doing great so far for 28 years. And being disabled has its perks in Jamaica. I mean, I don't have to join any lines. I am very close with the bus drivers here, so they look out for me. I just use my disability as a blessing. I see it as a ability to reach out and inspire other persons, you know, inspire strangers, other disabled person who might be thinking that they don't want to be this way or it's hard. I just get my strength from God. That's all I can say. And my family and friends, I have a good support system, and I believe that they're also part of the reason why I am so strong. My family, my friends, my co-workers, they're awesome. They look out for me. As I said, the bus drivers, I have strangers that know me that I don't know. They have been looking out for me. So that's where I get my strength, but mostly from God. So thank you for watching today's video. Please remember to like, share, comment, and I'm just thankful. I have 80 subscribers so far, and I am really thankful that you guys have been watching, you guys have been commenting, and just continue to come along with me on this journey. Right now I'm on my way home from hydrotherapy, so I am exhausted, guys. I am so tired, but I just had to do this video. I had to take a break and just do this video so you guys can know, I can enlighten you just a little bit more about my life. If you have any video suggestions, any suggestions on videos that I can do that you would like to see, don't be afraid to share. Don't be afraid to comment. You can inbox me if you don't want to comment. Just share your ideas on what else you would like to see ShanDizzle put up on her channel, what you would enjoy. Please, again, remember to subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Thank you.